welcome to an interesting video that I'm currently doing. It's February 12th at 10:18 p.m. It's a Thursday. This is going to come out in July at some point. I'm going to use this as part of like the Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy anniversary. But I'm currently working on another Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy thing that will come out later in July. Well, I'm trying to get information so I can feed it into my friend Mr. GPT to see if it will give me a good script for it. See what it does. I kind of know what I want to do anyway, so if it doesn't give me anything, we'll figure something out. But yeah, I don't want to spoil that at all. But so I threw every Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy movie into, what is this, NoteGPT.io, and it summarizes it. So I'm going to go through and read the summaries to see what it gives us for, the Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy Phase 1. So let's start with the first movie here. So summary. The video presents a narrative-driven, action-oriented storyline featuring characters named Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy, who are allies on a mission to combat a villainous group called the Chihuahua Gang. The main focus is on training, teamwork, and an impending confrontation with a former ally turned enemy, Chad. It did a pretty good job right there. That's perfect. Key characters and roles. Rubbermaid Man, the experienced hero and mentor figure guiding Plastic Boy. Plastic Boy, the newly recruited sidekick undergoing training to fight villains. Chad, a former recruit who betrayed Rubbermaid Man and joined the Chihuahua Gang, serving as the primary antagonist. Chihuahua Gang, the villainous group with dark magical powers responsible for multiple conflicts. So it's done pretty good so far. I looked at the other ones. One of them, it messes up pretty early on, so we'll see how it goes. So for the core concept and plot points, teamwork and recruitment. Plastic Boy is recruited by Rubbermaid Man to replace Chad as sidekick after Chad's betrayal. Training regimen. Plastic Boy undergoes combat training, including shield defense, agility drills, and weapon handling in a designated battle training arena. You even got the name right. Weapons and powers. Plastic Boy is initially equipped with a shield labeled Rubbermaid, symbolizing protection and identity. The ultimate weapons are special swords with latent powers that can channel abilities to defeat enemies. The threat of the Chihuahua Gang. The gang members possess dark magic, allowing them to capture and throw opponents. Chad, now a powerful adversary, is part of this gang and poses a significant threat. Conflict and motivation. Chad's betrayal is a central emotional driver, motivating Rubbermaid Man to find a new ally. The final goal is to stop Chad and the Chihuahua Gang from causing further harm. Training and combat details? Ooh. Training aspect, shield defense. There's training aspects and descriptions here. So shield defense, blocking and parrying attacks, maintaining readiness with hands up. Agility, key to spotting weaknesses and winning fights, includes jumping and quick movements. Is this really how terribly we explained all this? Throwing practice, learning to throw opponents effectively to gain an advantage in combat. It's more I think it was more shield throwing. It's obviously transposed some of the Air Force ability and shield throwing together there. Weapon handling, transition from shields to swords, with swords possessing powers to enhance combat ability. Battle training arena, designated location for training and sparring exercises. Oh, we have a timeline here. The introduction. Rubbermaid Man recruits Plastic Boy to fight villains and describes the Chihuahua Gang threat. Training session, shield combat, agility drills, and throwing practice take place to prepare Plastic Boy. Journey to Sanctuary. Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy travel to a place called the Sanctuary to acquire powerful swords. Sword bonding. Both characters bond with their swords and begin practicing sword fighting. Ooh. Confrontation with Chad. They face Chad in battle, successfully defeating him despite his strength. Aftermath and warning. Rubbermaid Man warns that Chad will seek revenge, signaling further conflict ahead. Key insights and conclusions. Plastic Boy's rapid progress in training is exceptional, surpassing the achievements of previous recruits like Chad. The Chihuahua Gang's dark magic presents a unique and dangerous challenge that requires both physical skill and special weaponry to overcome. The swords symbolize a new level of power and responsibility, essential for facing the escalating threat. Despite the victory over Chad, the risk of revenge looms large, implying continued battles and the need for ongoing preparation. The dynamic between Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy highlights themes of redemption, trust, and the importance of teamwork in facing adversity. Wow. Do I read the additional notes? We might as well. The video uses a mix of humor and dramatic storytelling with playful banter balanced by serious training and combat sequences. It's very serious combat. References to real-world brands. Rubbermaid. It's the only example, even though there's just straight up a Star Wars reference immediately. Are part of the fictional narrative, and they serve as identity markers for the characters. Some specific powers and abilities of the Chihuahua Gang are described in general terms. Dark magic that allows grabbing and throwing, but detailed mechanics remain not specific/uncertain, which makes sense. Like, don't play all your cards. The precise nature of the swords and their powerful potential are hinted at, but not fully explained. Interesting. Well, let's move on to Rubbermaid Man and Plastic Boy: The Revenge of Chad. The video depicts a playful, action-driven narrative centered around a group of characters engaging in a quest for forever darts and preparing for a battle involving swords and special abilities. The story combines elements of fantasy, rivalry, and humor with recurring focus on weaponry, training, and combat challenges. Do we, lose a section here? Yes, we lose the key characters and roles section in this one. Jump straight to the timeline of events. Just timeline of events literally in the video. So let's see what it gives here. Characters search for and find darts. Tension arises as a revenge plot is hinted. So Chad looking for the darts. Discovery and discussion of an ancient weapon. Decision to practice and develop a special ability. It's trying to get Air Force. Training session to test new swords abilities. Attempt to combine powers. Partial success in battle. See, this movie's all over the place already. I don't even know what this is referring to exactly. Challenge and confrontation with Chad. Confusion and uncertainty about the fight outcome. Post-fight commentary. Humor involving Plastic Boy and shields named Rubbermaid and Roughness. It says Roughness. Obviously, it's a Roughneck. Pretty sure that's what I said. Call to stop the ongoing conflict or fight. Key insights. Quest for forever darts. Video opens up with a search for special darts which seem to be important or powerful items within the story. Revenge motive. There's an underlying revenge theme suggesting past conflicts and a desire to settle scores. Ancient weapon and abilities. The characters discover what they believe to be an ancient powerful weapon that requires special training to wield effectively. I think it's referring to Air Force ability here because we already have the swords. Training and skill development. Video emphasizes practice and concentration to gain a super Air Force ability, indicating a focus on mastery and growth. Combination of powers. Characters experiment with combining their abilities. I don't remember when we did that. Battle with Chad. The antagonist Chad is a central figure in the conflict, portrayed as both formidable and surprisingly weak at times. Humorous elements. The dialogue includes playful banter involving names like Plastic Boy and references to shields labeled Rubbermaid and Roughneck. Okay. Unclear resolution. The fight with Chad ends ambiguously, with uncertainty about whether he is truly defeated or is pretending to be weak. Call to end conflict. The final moment suggests desire to stop the fighting, indicating tension and possibility of reconciliation or pause. Characters and relationships. Main protagonists. The Characters searching for darts and practicing abilities, including Plastic Boy. Why does it never reference Rubbermaid Man in here? It always talk. I guess Rubbermaid Man is probably never even stated. Plastic Boy is said a lot, but Rubbermaid Man might not be. Antagonist, Chad, who is the target of the revenge and battle. So it's getting this wrong here. Interaction. The protagonists exhibit camaraderie and teamwork, while Chad is met with a mix of challenge and skepticism. Themes. Perseverance and training, conflict and revenge, power and weaponry, humor and lightheartedness. See what it gives us important terms. It doesn't put Rubbermaid Man as an important term, but Plastic Boy is, and Chad is. Rubbermaid Man must not be said in this at all. That's kind of crazy. Conclusion. The video presents a dynamic story blending fantasy combat training and interpersonal humor. The central conflict involves mastering new abilities and confronting an antagonist, with the protagonist showing determination and camaraderie, despite the battle's uncertain outcome. It looks that way, but I don't know. It's meant to look like we're killing him. The narrative ends with a call to stop fighting, hinting at a possible resolution or pause. I don't think it does. The use of playful nicknames and banter adds a lighthearted tone to the otherwise action-focused content. It's obviously very action-focused. Let's move on here. Rubbermaid Man versus Plastic Boy. Video depicts a tense, humorous, and somewhat emotional confrontation between two characters, one named Plastic Boy and the other associated with Rubbermaid or Roughneck branding. You're telling me Rubbermaid Man isn't set here either? The dialogue revolves around identity, respect, and the struggle for recognition and power within what appears to be a superhero or combatant context. Key events. Introduction to the names of Plastic Boy and Rubbermaid Man. Escalating conflict over the names, repeated taunting with Plastic Boy leading to frustration. It's immediately. That is what happens. Emotional exchange revealing feelings of insignificance and heroism. Fighting scenes interspersed with music, acknowledgement of strength and resolve despite lack of supernatural powers. At this point, we do have the Air Force ability, and we use it. So I don't know what we're talking about here. Continued conflict with references to strength and teamwork, accusations about betrayal and a failure to fight a common enemy, the Chihuahua Gang, tension about roles and loyalty, discussion about the assistant's desire to be the main fighter. Why is that so? Discussion about the assistant's desire to be the main fighter. Okay. A reflection on struggles, loss, and experience. Further taunts Plastic Boy, escalating conflict. Offered to share power in decision-making, preparing for a new confrontation or collaboration involving Plastic Boy. The core themes and insights are really going to bring us... why is it called Rubbermaid Man Roughneck? That's later down. Sorry. The core themes here: identity and respect. Nicknamed Plastic Boy is a focal point of tension. It symbolizes perceived weakness or insult, prompting repeated confrontations and emotional reactions. The character refuses to accept the label, striving for recognition beyond it. Conflict and rivalry. Characters are embroiled in a rivalry marked by insults, physical combat, and emotional outbursts. Despite this, there's an underlying acknowledgement of each other's strength and importance. Heroism and struggle. One character expresses feelings of being an underappreciated hero, highlighting themes of loneliness, sacrifice, and the desire for acknowledgement. Loneliness and sacrifice. Those are interesting. Team dynamics and loyalty. References to fighting a Chihuahua gang and accusations of betrayal. Tension between leadership and subordinate roles. Power and control. The effort to share power and allow the other character to make decisions about super equipment suggest a shift towards cooperation or an attempt to reconcile conflicts. Oh, you know what? Because this is a post-credit scene, and there is some verses in here. Maybe that's part of the problem with I don't know. Sorry, I was talking about render chat there for a second. Let's go back. Okay, we have 4 character plastic boy role. Protagonist figure resisting a demeaning nickname. Relationship dynamics. Defiant, emotionally charged, seeking respect. Rubbermaid man / roughneck. Rival figure associated with strength and leadership. Antagonistic yet acknowledges plastic boy's strength. I guess you could say Rubberman is the antagonist in this one because he like makes Plastic Boy mad. I don't know. Assistant. Desire to be the main fighter. Feels underappreciated. Conflict over role and recognition. Obviously, that's just more Plastic Boy information. Why is it listed as assistant? Who knows? Chihuahua Gang. Common enemy mentioned in the conflict. Catalyst for team conflict and rivalry. Got it listed quotes, but they're wrong. First listed quote: I'm not a Rubbermaid man, and you're plastic. No, I'm not. I'm not a Rubbermaid man, and you're plastic. No, I'm not. Highlights rejection of imposed identities. My life has no meaning. I'm just a hero. Nobody likes me. That is a quote. That was my favorite quote of this one. You weren't supposed to fight the Chihuahua Gang alone. I don't I don't know if that one was said. I don't think that one was. I'll let you have more power in our decisions. I'll let you make super equipment. That one is said. Did a good job there. Summary of tone and style. Video combines comedic elements with dramatic and emotional moments. Action sequences are interspersed with dialogue, emphasizing physical and emotional conflict. The interaction is character-driven, focusing on identity, respect, and power struggles. Unspecified, uncertain information. The context of the fight is specified in the context of the universe, so that one doesn't matter. Nature of their power, yeah, no. All that information is just stuff that the AI wouldn't know because it doesn't consider the other stuff. Conclusion. This video presents a layered confrontation centered on identity, respect, and a rivalry between characters symbolized by their nicknames and affiliations. Despite conflict and insults, there's an undercurrent of mutual recognition, struggle for power, and desire for cooperation. The narrative explores themes of heroism, loneliness, loyalty, and the dynamics of teamwork within a seemingly superhero-themed framework. Very interesting. Let's move on to Forever Fight. Now we get into the big stuff. It's a long summary. The video centers on a tense and urgent struggle involving 6 powerful darts, which grant formidable abilities to whoever possesses them. The protagonists are in a race to secure all 6 darts to prevent a dangerous adversary from gaining infinite power. The narrative unfolds as the antagonist initially has 5 darts, but lacks full mastery over their powers. The group's goal is to stop him before he fully harnesses all 6 and uses their combined might destructively. Throughout the video, key themes of teamwork, responsibility, and consequences of lapses in vigilance. The characters express frustration and blame over a failure to secure the darts properly, which has allowed the antagonist to gain an upper hand. Despite initial setbacks, they strategize to regain control by leveraging their unique abilities and knowledge, aiming to prevent further misuse of darts. A significant part of the video is dedicated to the protagonist attempting to understand the origin and the nature of the darts, as well as the mysterious powers involved. They plan to conduct research by combining their powers and connecting to a sanctuary or source of power that creates weapons, hoping it will reveal critical information about the current crisis. This is the end of the movie that it's talking about right now. That's not what we're doing. We're trying. The research uncovers alarming information about a catastrophic event that has caused 1/3 of Earth's population to disappear, raising questions about time travel, alternate realities, and universal consequences. So it gets that, but not the whip nene. Oh, it does mention it later on. Okay. Key insights. 6 darts are central to the conflict, granting immense power to their wielder. The antagonist has 5 darts but doesn't understand how to use them fully. Securing all 6 darts is crucial to prevent infinite power from falling into the wrong hands. Protagonists experience internal conflict and blame due to failure in safeguarding the darts. They attempt to improve their skills and coordinate as a team, practicing specific techniques. Whip nene. Okay, I didn't mention that right, but it mentioned it at least. The protagonist recognizes that the dart's power originates from a sanctuary or mystical source. Combining their powers, they seek to connect with the sanctuary for answers. Research reveals a dire situation. 1/3 of Earth's population has vanished, suggesting large-scale temporal or dimensional disruptions. Video hints of complex themes like time travel, alternate realities, and multiverse exploration. I'm not going to read the timeline events. It's just exactly what I just read. Core concepts and definitions. Is that going to be anything different? No, it's everything that I just read already. Talking about darts, sanctuary, infinite power, time travel, alternate realities. Highlights. The antagonist's position of 5 darts creates a high-stakes scenario. Internal conflict among protagonists emphasizes the importance of responsibility. Use of combined powers to communicate with the sanctuary is a pivotal moment. It's at the end of the movie. The revelation of massive population loss ties the immediate conflict to a larger cosmic or dimensional crisis. Video ends on an uncertain note, with research ongoing and the threat unresolved, which is true. Conclusion. The video presents a narrative focused on the struggle for control over 6 mystical darts that confer great power. The protagonists are challenged both externally by a powerful opponent and internally by mistakes and blame. Their efforts to understand and counteract crisis lead to revelations of much broader catastrophe involving mass disappearance and potential realities beyond their own. The combination of fantasy elements with themes of responsibility and teamwork underscore the gravity of their mission and the complexity of the unfolding events. The key takeaway is safeguarding and understanding the dart's power is essential to prevent catastrophic misuse, while the mysterious disappearance of a significant portion of humanity hints at deeper multidimensional crisis. I feel like it's implied that, like, obviously the whip name is just a knockoff of Thanos' snap, but I feel like that was, like, stated. Okay, this is where it gets good. Why is the summary so long for Forever Fight? Like, it's like, what is this? It's like 9 sentences. Back for final match, we're down to 3 again. Summary. Video content revolves around 2 protagonists, referred to as Plastic Boy and his companion, engaged in high-stakes multiverse adventure to recover 6 powerful forever darts scattered across different realities. The loss of these darts severely weakened their world, with mysterious antagonist named Chad having already collected several darts, causing catastrophic consequences, including disappearance of the 1/3 of the Earth's population. Not sure where Brad goes. Like, Brad hasn't been mentioned once yet. Let's see here. Forever darts. 6 powerful artifacts critical to restoring balance and preventing universal destruction. Protagonists need to collect all 6 from various alternate universes. Multiverse travel device. They possess a device that allows them to jump between universes but requires synchronized thoughts to transport correctly. I don't know what I said correctly. I said correctly weird twice there. That was weird. Failure to properly use it risks creating dangerous paradoxes and black holes. That is what we say. Obviously, it's because we thought about the endgame time travel stuff, but it's actually multiverse. That doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's called a plot hole. It's called something that, if the universe was continued, would be retconned. Chad, the main antagonist, has multiple darts and is a significant threat. Different versions of Chad exist across the multiverse. I guess Chad is the main antagonist because we kill Brad in the first, minute. Seeing past selves or creating paradoxes during paradox and black hole risk. We already mentioned that. That's a plot hole. Not looking at the timeline, who cares? Okay, key insights. Universe hopping is risky. The protagonist must avoid interacting with their past selves to prevent paradoxes that could destroy all universes. Multiple versions of Chad. The villain exists in many universes, some weaker than others, complicating the mission. Time synchronization. Proper calibration of the device requires both protagonists to think of the exact moment in time to avoid deadly outcomes. It's also called something that would be retconned in the future if it were to continue. Removing darts from certain universes disrupts natural balance, indicating each dart's presence is critical to that reality's stability. I don't know when we mentioned that. I don't remember when we mentioned that, but that is like perfect. So that's pretty good. Teamwork. The protagonists rely heavily on each other, especially when facing powerful threats and repairing damaged equipment. Sacrifice and risk. One character may have to enter the device permanently with the darts to seal them off, risking never returning. Quantitative data. Forever Darts collection status. Total darts needed 6. Darts collected 3. Darts remaining 3. Notes. Darts are scattered across different realities. Great. Characters and definitions. Plastic Boy. Protagonist. Wielder of a powerful sword. Seeks to recover darts. Rubbermaid. Companion of Plastic Boy. Helps in universe hopping and collecting darts. Chad. Antagonist who has already collected multiple darts. Poses a multiverse threat. Great. Challenges highlighted. Navigating multiple realities without causing paradoxes. Repairing damaged equipment, notably the sword. Locating and securing darts to quickly... No, oh my god, that's not English. Locating and securing darts quickly to prevent Chad from gaining further power. Managing the risk of the universe destruction due to paradoxes or black holes. Balancing the natural order of each universe after removing powerful artifacts. Excuse me. Jeez, what am I doing? Conclusions. The protagonist's mission to retrieve 6 Forever Darts is critical to restoring the balance and saving their universe and others. Multiverse travel device is powerful but unstable, requiring precise synchronization and caution. The antagonist, Chad's presence across realities greatly increases the stakes. The story emphasizes teamwork, sacrifice, and strategic planning to navigate complex multiverse dangers. The potential permanent sacrifice of one protagonist highlights the gravity of their mission and and the consequences of failure. I'm not sure I was going to say protagonist again there. That's brutal. Uncertain and not specified information. The exact nature and powers of the Forever Darts beyond their importance. I guess they're still kind of a mystery. Details background on Chad's origin and motives. Yeah, I guess that's not really mentioned here because it's already 4 things before. The long-term consequences from universes from which darts are taken, that would have been mentioned further down the line. So yeah, that was unanswered. What exactly the final scene or location or entity represents after the device sealing. The summary captures the main narrative and thematic elements strictly based on the provided transcript, emphasizing the multiverse adventure, the stakes involved, and the key challenges faced by the protagonists. All right, well, that's interesting. Yeah, thanks. See ya.